From the Bakersfield Californian, this is the Renegade Report.
This is Renegade Report with your host, Francis Mayer.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Francis Mayer, as the gentleman just said, and I'm Sports Information Director for the greatest junior college athletic department in the known universe, your Bakersfield College Athletics. Now, a lot of people behind the scenes make the big show on the fields, courts, and diamonds happen. And part of that happens in the Bakersfield College Foundation, and they are doing a ton of cool stuff to make sure that BC remains world-class, galaxy class, as I like to say. And this morning we have Angie Paquette on again this morning from the foundation. How are you, Miss Paquette?
I am very well. How are you, Francis?
And you and I, do not be shy with that microphone.
You got it.
We had a ton of fun at the Red and White Night, by the way, just to throw that out there.
We had a ton of fun at Imbibe celebrating Red and White Night.
It was awesome. It was so good that last night after work, my wife and I stopped by there and picked up a couple bottles because we were inspired.
Well, I'm sure Robert Tapia appreciated it.
He did, actually. Robert spent some time with me and helped me make a meal pairing.
Nice.
Took time to talk to me about grapes. If you don't know anything about wine, and I don't, I'm a wild turkey guy. I don't know anything about grapes. He was telling me about farm conditions and how different people grow certain seed stock and why it grows better in Spain and why some grow better at the Central Coast. And I was like, wow, all of a sudden I care about wine.
Well, so here's the deal with Robert that people don't know. Robert actually went to a culinary school, much like Bakersfield College's culinary arts program.
So
and
he's a Voc Arts guy.
He is, and that's
Awesome.
where he fell in love with wine pairings. And that's how he wound up on the pathway into wine.
Well, and I did get to ask him that. I asked him, I was like, you love wine? And he was like, dude, absolutely. And it always makes me happy when I get to talk to someone who did get an education and now lives an adult life that doesn't involve waking up and just wanting to scream. You know you're going to do something like you and I do that you care about, or a product you care about, and it's awesome. Speaking of products, one other thing that you do is you make sure that the old lantern of Renegade tradition does not dim.
Absolutely not. We are here to celebrate our alums because they're precious to us.
Like these guys. Check this out.
Rocking awesome men. Is that a great picture? So this comes from the 1953 Junior Rose Bowl game, and we have some superstars.
Yeah, this was the last play, and you can see the circle. The guy who circled there, his name was Lonnie the Lone Ranger Graham, and this was a first and goal stand against the Renegades. And Northeastern Oklahoma would have won the national championship if they could have scored, but
Dun, da, da, da.
We actually have a world premiere, a product of the Bakersfield College media department, and Manny down in media service is truly an artist, and I was lucky to work with him on this project. Chris, we have that video ready. This is a short film we made about the first national championship team at Bakersfield College. We had the surviving members of the team on campus for a wonderful lunch. It was a blast.
Great lunch.
And then in the Renegade Room, and it's always awesome to work in a place that has a fine dining establishment on the grounds.
Yeah, 5-star.
Dude, Chef Alex and the students, tip of the cap. And afterwards, these guys stuck around and we got to interview them. And we actually found on these old reels, video or film reels, this game. And the foundation helped get that converted to digital. And now we have this video to show you. So, Chris, if you want to cue that up. On December 12th, 1953, the yet unknown Bakersfield College Renegades headed to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California to take on Northeastern Oklahoma.
Us going to the bowl in Pasadena, and we had 50 or 60,000 people watching it. They were coming over the grapevine in buses and trucks and cars. And back here in Bakersfield City, they closed the doors. They all went to Pasadena. And there was a lot of talk for a year or so afterwards that us doing this, we helped pay for the beautiful stadium here now that will hold over 20,000 people.
So the score was 13-6, and it was near the end of the game, and the Northeast Oklahoma A&M team had the ball, first down and goal to go on about the 1 foot line. They had an All-American running back named Lonnie the Lone Ranger Graham. Their two strongest players right over our line and score the touchdown and win the game. Anyway, they ran right at us 4 times to gain 1 foot, and we held them. It was a goal line stand, and then the game was over.
We held the Lone Ranger back 4 times, and it was just unbelievable.
I enjoyed it. Especially, I played on championship baseball and football teams. And, like the guy once said, I have nothing to offer but blood, sweat, and tears. But anyway.
Homer Beatty for a coach, and he built character and everything else. So there's some really good guys on the team. I mean, you see most of them, and they're really great guys. I mean, all of them.
Both ways. Everybody played both ways in those days. The goal line stand, I was on for the first play, and then Homer, I think he had more faith in the guy behind me because he put him in, and so I got to watch the whole thing from the sidelines.
But on the field, we were very, very close. You know, we would drink out of the same water bottle, and when you did a good play, they said you good. Just a minute ago, I was talking with Roger Kelly, and he was just making a comment that Fauci and I, they always was talking about the Slaughterhouse 7. It should have been the Slaughterhouse 9.
The people that were in the stands tell me that the crowd erupted. It was the end of the game. It was, we won the championship. It made Bakersfield College Renegades national champions of junior college football, something that had never been heard of in Bakersfield before.
How special were the 1953 Renegades? We're still talking about their accomplishment almost 70 years later. But it was more than a sporting accomplishment. Their win, the first national championship in Bakersfield College football history, marked the beginning of a reign of excellence and served as a cornerstone to the Renegade Athletics legacy that we still celebrate today, whether it's in the Gil Bishop Sports Center or in the 20,000-seat cathedral to college football that we call Memorial Stadium. And to the surviving members of the Junior Rose Bowl championship team of 1953, T.H. Lockard, Rex Garner, Harvey Warren, Pat Fouch, Roger Smith, and Jim Kennedy, we say thank you. That's sweet.
Isn't that a great video?
I love it. Again, Manny De Los Santos in Bakersfield College Media Services. He's a real whiz. They got him doing all kinds of stuff on that campus, but when he's got a few minutes to put together to produce a video, I'll tell you, he does an incredible job. And he records all the BC TED Talks. I mean, every time we have a special speaker, Manny's down there putting together a great video, so we thank him. Yeah. How do you think the guys are going to like it?
I'm hoping that they're going to love it. I love it. They're just a great group of men. They're very passionate about Bakersfield College. They're passionate about their experience. You really get the picture that BC doesn't just teach students academics. It really helps develop people and their character. So
no, it absolutely does. And they were an eclectic group of guys, all sharp as tacks in their 80s, and remember that game and remember the circumstances around it. They remember the dinner they had. They remember the Miss Junior Rose Bowl. I mean, these guys.
Okay, that was a great story, though.
It really was. It's an absolutely charming story, and we might have to put some more of those together. We'll figure that out. But getting the game up is important because, as they said, it all came down to a goal line stand. Yeah. As time is ticking off the clock, there's 4 downs. And you heard Pat Fouch in there say that Coach Beatty, a Bakersfield College legend, took him out of the game because he had more faith in the guy behind him. Well, the thing is I think with substitutions then, once you came out for the quarter or the half, you were out until the next quarter or half. So obviously he was pulled out of the game there and replaced with someone else. But they held this guy, like the best running back in the country. Yeah. They held him away, and they were like half the distance to the goal. So really amazing, awesome. They have great memories from that, and it was a lot of pleasure to spend time with them. But the way that continues, Angie, the way that we remember this legacy And the way that we're going to remember the accomplishments of the team that did so well in 2012 and other teams going forward is through support to the foundation.
Absolutely. So I think one of the first steps for anyone who comes through Bakersfield College, whether you take one class or you take multiple classes, is to get involved with the alumni group. And it doesn't have to be...
What's the difference between the alumni group and the foundation? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
So that's a good point. So the foundation is a vehicle. It's an organization that allows people who want to contribute financially back to the college and help the college continue to grow great programs, great students, and even great facilities.
Wait, just contribute to the college?
To the college and the
Yes, but what if I wanted to say contribute to just the wrestling team? Could I do that?
Absolutely, to the program. So we have people that donate money and want to create endowments so that they can perpetuate scholarships for athletics and for a very specific program. It could be for the wrestling program because I know you have a passion for the wrestlers.
I do, yeah.
I understand. Yes. But you could also have folks, in fact, I'm working with a donor right now who has a passion for delivering a scholarship to women who are reentering school after having raised children, who want to focus on a passion in their life such as art. So
Wonderful.
You can do that. Or you can contribute to bigger projects like helping us develop our facilities. You saw our stadium. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous stadium, but it's had a long lifetime, and we want to maintain it as the quality facility that it is. And so
Division I level facility.
Yes,
It's a beautiful stadium.
It's a gorgeous stadium, but as any property would be, you have to maintain it with care, and sometimes you have to invest more money in it. So,
no, you absolutely do.
So we do fundraising for that. That's what the foundation does.
Wonderful. That's awesome. And people are under the misconception that Bakersfield College doesn't give athletic scholarships. True story. But you can apply to the BC Foundation through the financial aid website. And actually, we're going to have Tom Gelder, who I believe is your boss.
He is. He's a wonderful boss.
Wonderful guy.
Make sure he knows that I said that.
I will. You hear that, Tom? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. He's going to come on later and talk to us more specifically about some incredible projects that are coming to the athletic department and more about how the foundation works. But you're going to be putting on another shindig. If you missed the first Red and White Night at Imbibe, and by the way, everybody who was anybody at BC was at this doggone event. We had the chancellor and her husband. We had the president of the school. And she had 3 other events to go to.
She did.
Oh, including ours. There were 3 events that night. And she made the BC hat trick. There's Tom Gelder there. He'll be on very soon. And we had a bunch of professors. We had a bunch of folks who work at the college. We met a wonderful couple, a firefighter, a retired firefighter, and his wife. And they're both alumni. And it was just a great night out. It was awesome.
It was a great night out. I thought it was awesome. It was a packed house.
Yes.
It was a great experience.
But a mellow party. They were good folks.
Oh, it was lovely. And people were just having a great time. In fact, Dr. Serrano, she and her husband stayed to the tail end. We shut down the place.
I would say the bitter end, but all those wines were pretty darn sweet. The next one's going to be at Pyrenees Cafe. We're going to have Angie on again to tell you about that, but there's new ownership down there. They're awesome. They totally have a deep respect for the Renegade legacy. In fact, they have a room dedicated to living legend Jerry Collis, Coach Collis. And we're going to be putting on a party there and on May 12th. That's a Tuesday. And same low-key deal, 5:30 to 7:30, or 5 to 7:30. But we're also going to have a videographer there so you can record any stories that you have about Coach Collis.
Right. So we really want to encourage people to save the date. Mark it on your calendar.
Yeah, May
Start
12th.
Watching all of our Facebook feeds for a little more information.
Sure.
Watch the program to make sure that you're the kind of the first online to ValleyTix to reserve your tickets. That's an important piece. We're going to be serving the traditional Basque setup along with your choice of chicken or fish for the evening and some, of course, red and white wine. We have to have our red and white. And we're just going to be sharing stories and we're hoping that Pyrenees also will be kind of unveiling a new little space while we're down there. So
yes, that's what we heard,
yeah.
But we'll have to see. This is going to be totally awesome, and there's nothing more hip in Bakersfield. Red beret optional, but you got Basque food, you got BC Athletics, you got the BC Foundation, all together at Pyrenees on May 12th. If you're not there, well, I pity the fool. I'll leave it at that. Coming up next, Miss Paquette, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, thank you.
We have a beautiful young lady. Her name is Hallie, and she is a member of the BC cheer team, and she's got some news to share about how you can get involved. They had one tryout. Maybe they're going to have another. And I understand they need some men, but you better be talented. Up next, it's Hallie from the BC cheer team here on the Renegade Report.